You're sitting at your kitchen table at 11 p.m. You've got Zillow open on your phone, scrolling through homes you're not entirely sure you can afford. On your laptop, you've got a mortgage calculator. You punch in the numbers, look at that massive monthly payment, and feel this immediate knot in your stomach. Then, you scroll social media and see your friend posting a picture holding a pair of house keys with the caption, "Finally stop throwing money away on rent." And suddenly, you feel like you're falling behind. Like every month you pay rent, you're just lighting cash on fire. My name is Sam, and I spend way too much time thinking about buying or renting a house. Which one is better? If you're someone who feels caught between the pressure to buy a home and the fear of making a massive financial mistake, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Look, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. The idea that renting is throwing money away is one of the most dangerous financial myths ever created. Here's the thing. Society has trained us to view homeownership as the ultimate sign of adulthood. It's part of everyone's dreams, right? But what if I told you that for millions of people, buying a home is actually the worst financial decision they could possibly make? Now, you might be thinking, Sam, real estate always goes up. Building equity is how you build wealth. I get it, but let's look at the actual numbers, because this is where it gets really interesting. According to data from the Federal Reserve, the average unrecoverable cost of homeownership is dramatically higher than most people realize. When you rent, your rent payment is the maximum amount you will pay for housing that month. When you buy, your mortgage payment is the minimum amount you will pay. Let's do some simple math. Say you buy a $400,000 house. You put down 20%, which is $80,000, leaving you with a $320,000 mortgage at, say, 6.5% interest. Your principal and interest payment is about $2,020 a month. Sounds manageable, right? Here's what most people don't realize. In the first few years of that mortgage, almost all of your payment goes straight to interest. Over the first 5 years, out of the roughly $121,000 you pay to the bank, over $100,000 of it is pure interest. You didn't build $121,000 in equity. You bought the bank a new luxury car. And we haven't even touched property taxes, homeowners insurance, HOA fees, or maintenance. The standard rule of thumb is to budget 1% to 2% of the home's value every single year for maintenance. On a $400,000 home, that's $4,000 to $8,000 a year, just to keep the roof from leaking and the HVAC running. That is unrecoverable money. It vanishes into thin air, just like rent. Think of it like this. Buying a home is like buying a stock, but that stock comes with a monthly subscription fee to keep it from dissolving. You have to pay a 6% fee just to sell it, and it takes up 80% of your total net worth. If an advisor pitched you that investment strategy for your portfolio, you'd walk out of the room. So, why are we so obsessed with buying? It comes down to basic psychology. Money isn't just math, it's emotion. Owning a home satisfies our deep psychological need for security and status. We like control. We like knowing a landlord can't raise the rent or kick us out. But we confuse emotional security with financial stability. I know a guy, let's call him Marcus. Marcus felt the pressure. He was 30, making decent money, and felt like he should buy a place. He stretched his budget, drained his entire savings account for a down payment, and bought a cute starter home. 6 months later, the main sewer line backed up. Cost to fix, $9,000. Because his savings were wiped out buying the house, he had to put that $9,000 on a high-interest credit card. Suddenly, his wealth-building asset became a financial trap that kept him awake at night. So, how do you actually decide what's right for you? You stop listening to your uncle at Thanksgiving, and you apply a cold hard rule. It's called the 5% rule, popularized by financial experts to compare the unrecoverable cost of renting versus buying. Here is how it works. Take the value of the home you want to buy, say, for $100,000. Multiply it by 5%. That gives you $20,000 a year, or roughly $1,666 a month. That $1,666 represents the unrecoverable cost of owning that home. Property taxes, maintenance, and capital cost of interest. Now, look at the rental market. If you can rent an equivalent home for less than $1,666 a month, renting is mathematically the smarter financial move. Why? Because you can take the difference between the total cost of owning that home and your rent, and invest it directly into low-cost index funds. Historically, the stock market like the S&P 500 has outperformed residential real estate over long periods. With zero maintenance cost, zero property taxes, and complete liquidity, you can sell a stock in 3 seconds. You can't sell a kitchen sink when you need emergency cash. Here are 3 actionable steps you need to take today before making a decision. Step 1. Calculate your real housing cost. If you're looking to buy, don't just look at principal and interest. Add property tax, insurance, HOA, and 1.5% for maintenance. If that total exceeds 28% to 30% of your gross monthly income, you cannot afford the house yet. Period. Step 2. Run the Renting Plus investing simulation. If renting is cheaper in your city and right now, in most major markets, renting is significantly cheaper than buying. Commit to taking the money you would have spent on home and automate an investment into an index fund every single month. Renting only builds wealth if you actually invest the difference. Step 3. Audit your drivers. Ask yourself honestly, am I buying this because the math makes sense for my life right now? Or am I buying this to satisfy an arbitrary social timeline? Look, homeownership can be incredible. It offers stability, route planning, and a space that is truly yours. If you have a stable job, plan to stay in one place for 7 to 10 years. Have an emergency fund after your down payment, and the math checks out, go for it. Buy the house. But if you aren't there yet, stop beating yourself up. Renting isn't failing. Renting is buying flexibility. It's buying time. It's keeping your capital mobile so you can build real, unencumbered wealth on your own terms. Take control of your money. Stop letting outdated assumptions run your life, and make decisions based on where you want to go, not where society says you should be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.